Let's just jump right into this explainer. Have you ever wondered why you can spend a full 8 hours in bed doing seemingly everything right, and yet you still wake up feeling like your brain never actually rested? You know, a lot of us just assume it's a natural, unavoidable part of getting older. We blame the stress, right? Or maybe an aging mattress, or that one cup of coffee we had a little too late in the afternoon. But what if one of the absolute biggest reasons your deep sleep is getting disrupted has literally nothing to do with your bed or your beverage?
I mean, 8 hours in bed and you're still tired? It is incredibly frustrating. But what if the real issue isn't how long you're sleeping, but rather what time you put your fork down at the dinner table? Think about it. Every single evening, your body preps for this extraordinary transition. As daylight fades, your metabolism is supposed to slow down, your core temperature drops, and your brain gets ready to restore itself. But, as we're going to see, the exact timing of your last meal can throw a major wrench right into those biological gears.
Section 1. The hidden competition inside your body.
Imagine your body has two highly specialized crews working inside. The day crew, they handle digestion. They're breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, regulating blood sugar, storing energy, the whole shebang. The night crew, on the other hand, focuses on restoration. They repair tissues, balance hormones, and really drive that deep sleep. Ideally, the digestion crew clocks out completely before the restoration crew even begins their nighttime shift. Now, earlier in life, your body actually had the flexibility to manage an overlap between these two. But if you're eating a huge dinner at 8:30 p.m. and then trying to sleep at 10:30, your digestion crew is still working overtime while your brain is desperately trying to call in the restoration crew. It's a clash.
So here is the crucial point. Digesting a substantial meal requires a lot of energy, and that process naturally produces heat. Scientists actually call this diet-induced thermogenesis, which is just a fancy way of saying there's a natural increase in energy use and heat production after you eat. Now, this rise in temperature isn't harmful at all. It's a perfectly healthy part of digestion. But, timing is absolutely everything here. To prepare for sleep, your core body temperature naturally needs to decline. That gentle, cooling drop is the primary signal telling your brain, hey, it's time to transition into the deeper stages of sleep. Think of it like this. It's like asking your house's air conditioner to cool things down while you still have the oven running on high. The AC might be running, sure, but it has to fight against all that heat building up inside the house. If your digestion oven is still generating heat late into the evening, it completely delays your body's normal cooling process. And for a lot of older adults, that creates a hidden metabolic conflict. It makes it so much harder to actually settle down into deep, restorative sleep.
Section 2. Why aging changes the equation.
Your internal circadian rhythm, which is basically your body's master clock, becomes a lot more delicate as we age. In the morning, your metabolism is primed and ready to handle incoming calories. But as evening approaches, melatonin production starts to rise and your core temperature drops. Well, after 60, these signals just aren't quite as robust as they used to be. A lot of older adults naturally produce less melatonin, for instance. So, when you toss a late, heavy dinner into this delicate balance, your digestive system is essentially shouting, "We're still working," while your brain is just quietly whispering, "Please, it's time to recover."
Another major factor here is what we call declining metabolic flexibility. And that simply means your body takes just a bit longer to switch gears between using energy and storing it. Listen, your digestive system is not failing by any means. It's just operating at a slightly different pace now. Blood glucose and insulin levels might remain elevated just a little bit longer after a meal. So if this whole process gets pushed late into the evening, your body is staying metabolically active long after your brain has tried to initiate sleep mode.
Section 3. Deep sleep after 60.
I like to think of sleep as a nightly renovation project. Light sleep, that's kind of like just setting up the work site. REM sleep is when you process your emotions and learning. But deep sleep, man, that is when the major physical repair happens. That's when you get a peak release of growth hormone. And as we age, our bodies naturally repair themselves a bit more slowly, which makes this specific stage incredibly valuable. Unfortunately, the amount of time we actually spend in deep sleep naturally gets shorter and a lot more fragile as we get older. It gets easily interrupted by that internal metabolic noise we just talked about.
Let me introduce you to something really cool, the glymphatic system. Imagine you're spending the entire day in a busy office building, right? By evening, there are coffee cups everywhere, the trash cans are full, but after everyone leaves, the nighttime cleaning crew comes in to get it ready for the next day. Well, researchers believe your brain actually has its own version of this exact housekeeping process. It's a waste clearance network that heavily relies on those deep stages of sleep to literally sweep away the metabolic waste you've accumulated during the day.
Now, it is absolutely crucial we get this right.
An early dinner does not magically detox your brain. That's a total myth. But what it absolutely does do is remove the metabolic obstacles, like excess heat and active digestion, so your brain is actually empowered to do its own natural cleaning. By finishing your dinner earlier, you're simply giving your body's restoration crew the ideal, quiet conditions they need to do their truly remarkable work.
Section 4. The Sunset Fast Protocol.
So here is the golden rule for you, 3 to 4 hours. You really want to aim to finish your last substantial meal about 3 to 4 hours before your head hits the pillow. So let's say you plan to be asleep by 10 p.m. Finishing dinner between 6 and 7 p.m. gives your digestion crew plenty of time to pack up their tools and clock out for the night. It creates this wonderful, gentle, uninterrupted transition between nourishment and restoration.
Now, I want to be clear, shifting your mealtime definitely doesn't mean you should eat some tiny, unsatisfying dinner. In fact, matching your meal to the time of day is the key here. You want what we call a balanced evening plate, the green zone. We're talking lean proteins like fish, chicken, beans, or tofu. Load up on fiber-rich vegetables, some moderate whole grains, and reasonable portions of healthy fats. This gives you excellent nutrition without forcing your digestive system to work overtime processing a massive, heavy meal during the hours you're supposed to be recovering.
I know exactly what you might be thinking right now. If I eat earlier, aren't I just going to go to bed hungry? Don't panic. A lot of times, what actually feels like late-night hunger is really just a deeply ingrained habit of snacking while watching TV. But if you are genuinely hungry, you just need a backup plan. Having a small, smart snack that combines protein and complex carbs is perfectly fine. It is so much better to have a modest little snack than to lie there in bed, wide awake, stressed out with a growling stomach.
Okay, a very crucial warning here. While this sunset fast is a totally safe experiment for many healthy older adults, eating earlier is not universally better for absolutely everyone. If you have diabetes, if you take insulin, or if you're managing weight loss issues, this falls squarely into the red zone of caution. Changing up your meal timing can absolutely affect your blood sugar and how your medications work, so it is essential that you consult your healthcare provider or a registered dietitian before you make any big changes to your eating schedule.
Section 5. Common evening mistakes to avoid. All right, let's talk about your sneaky sleep thieves. First up is the healthy but late trap. Look, grilled salmon and vegetables are fantastic, but if you're eating them at 9 p.m., they're still forcing your digestion crew to work the night shift. Second mistake, skipping meals earlier in the day only to become completely ravenous and devour half your pantry late at night. And third, saving those large, sugary desserts for right before bed. That just causes blood sugar fluctuations that completely disrupt your rest. Your timing and your nutrition have to work together as a team.
And of course, we have to talk about the alcohol trap. Sure, a glass of wine might make you feel sleepy initially. That's just the sedation effect. But as your body metabolizes that alcohol, it heavily fragments your sleep architecture. You might fall asleep faster, sure, but you are robbing yourself of the genuine, deep restoration your brain desperately needs. Feeling sleepy is absolutely not the same thing as getting restorative sleep.
Section 6. Your 7-day experiment.
So here are 4 steps for a simple 7-day observation. Step 1. Aim to finish your dinner 3 to 4 hours before bed, whenever it's practical. Then, over the next week, I just want you to observe. Step 2. Rate how easily you fall asleep. Step 3. Count your nighttime awakenings. And Step 4. Note your morning clarity and your energy levels during the day. Don't expect some dramatic magical result on night 1. Just let your body's response over a consistent week be your guide.
So tonight, as the evening approaches, I want you to ask yourself a simple question. Is your body resting, or is it still working? Give your body the time and the space it actually needs to perform its most remarkable job, restoring you. But remember, meal timing is really just one piece of the puzzle. What other hidden thieves are silently stealing your sleep right now? The answers to that might just surprise you. Thanks for joining this explainer.